So Will, I know your background is with MasterCard. You did mobile money implementations in Egypt and Turkey, and you've looked at mobile money around the world. You bring a lot of that experience to the implementation we're doing in India with MoneyOnMobile. But how do we continue to grow this? We've got a big market opportunity in India. How do we continue to grow this?
Sure. There's three ways that we grow this, Harold. First of all, we expand our retail network that we have today. So we have 325,000 agents. We've got a market of 14 million stores that meet our kind of criteria. Lots of room for growth in terms of expanding the number of retailers, and by retailers, getting reach to more consumers.
Right.
So the first one is just expanding our footprint of stores. The second is increasing our spend of the consumer wallet. So today we do airtime top up, we do utility bill payments, we do satellite, we do domestic remittance, but there are more utility bill providers that we can add to the service, and there are more transaction types. So we're looking at insurance, we're adding travel, we're adding e-commerce. So you can think about it as increasing your percentage of the consumer's wallet spend. Today we're getting a few transactions out of that consumer on a regular basis. Now we're going to slowly gather more of those transactions.
So as we put the service into a store, do you see the same consumers coming back over and over again and then doing more and more transactions over time?
Sure. Generally, an agent, when they start off, they'll start off with one product and become a specialist in that. So generally airtime is the starting product. Once they're comfortable and their customers are coming in and asking for others, they generally go to utility bill payments, and then domestic remittance is kind of the next stage there. So you see a progression at the retail, and you also see a progression with consumers. So it's not uncommon to see a consumer do a 1 rupee transaction on a domestic remittance, see that it works, and then they become kind of habitual users and hitting it every week as they send little bits of cash back to their family. And then to the third point about how we increase the size of MoneyOnMobile is really this velocity of money. How fast can we digitize the cash and push it back out to the consumer? So today we're primarily a cash-in network. We have to collect that cash and put it into a bank account and get it digitized. Now what we've launched, is the Mom ATM, which allows our agents to act as cash out points. And therefore, you see this cycle, a self-replenishing cycle that's occurring where one customer comes in and pays 1,000 rupees for a utility bill. The next customer gets 1,000 rupees as a cash out, and that immediately digitizes that transaction. So you can think about its velocity of money. If you think about fast-moving consumer goods, it's inventory turns, and our inventory is our cash. So now by doing cash out, we're increasing that velocity and therefore expanding the number of transactions a given retailer can do in a day.
So how important is continuing to expand the product line, and how far can you go with that, do you think?
Well, today, 98% of transactions in India are cash-based. So there's a long way to go to digitize all of those transactions. I think you're going to grow this to 1 million retail locations.
Wow.
So there's a lot of growth in terms of that. And our estimate today is we're getting about 10% of a consumer's spend. One of the consumers who's doing regular transactions, we're only getting about 10% of their overall spend that we could attract. So we're going to continue to grow that percentage of consumer wallets.